The original Super Troopers wasn't a particularly great movie. I've seen it a grand total of once when it was first released back in 2001. I have no recollection of what the story was. All I can tell you is that it was about the highway patrol. I do remember elements of it though, mainly the odd gag here or there meow.
I'm sorry, are you saying meow?
Am I saying meow?
I thought...
Don't think, boy. Now, do you know how fast you were going?
It was an entertaining enough watch, but not something I ever felt the need to return to. However, here we are. 17 years later, we now have Super Troopers 2. This time, the team must reform after being fired for the Fred Savage incident. The film doesn't answer what this is until the end credits, to help convert a patch of Canadian land that turns out to actually be on US soil. The story is just an excuse for gags, just like the first movie. The difference? None of the gags work here. One would think the story would, at worst, have some fun fish out of water stuff about the troopers dealing with the difference between American culture and Canadian culture.
This writing on the side of your vehicle.
Oh! How did that get there? Those kids at the garage, I just stopped for like...
Whatever. Huh? If you wish to avoid prosecution, I would advise that you comply with our language laws, which specifically prescribe that all signs be in both English and French.
Heck, maybe it could actually be really clever and show some real differences between Canadians and Americans rather than the stereotypical stuff. But instead, we mainly get Rob Lowe using the most cliche Canadian accent ever.
They've come up here to tell us how great it's going to be for all of us to become Americans.
And that's about it. The movie does a very good job of simulating the experience of an unfunny stand-up comic telling his jokes to a dead room for over 90 minutes. It seems unlikely that was the goal of the film, but if it was, it's a rousing success. I cannot remotely begin to tell you why it took 17 years to produce this film, but I can guarantee you that time was not spent perfecting the script. There's not even a hint of an original idea that would inspire the creation of this movie. My guess would be that this movie exists simply to be a paycheck for those involved. I would say if you're a huge fan of the original, you might have fun here. But literally, the one aspect that made the original stand out is missing here. If I had to, I'd recommend this movie for those suffering from insomnia, or are just really eager to put themselves through an incredibly boring experience. After 17 years, I can only remember gags from the first movie. I doubt I'll remember anything from this movie after 17 hours.
Hey, if you like this video, please make sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. That helps me out a lot. And if you really love this video, consider visiting my Patreon page.